Good morning, students. Myself, Dr. Vijayendra Singh Tawar, Associate Professor in English, and at present, I have been posted at Government College, Guda. During this period, we have to go by online teaching. So, in this connection, today's video is meant for the students of Class B, Part 2nd, Subject English Literature, Paper 1st. And in this video, we are going to talk or discuss about the critical appreciation of A.K. Ramanujan's famous poem Obituary. Though we have done it in Hindi and its explanation also, but after 1 month, as there is another lockdown, so we have to go by online method. So in this process, let us talk about the poet. The poet A.K. Ramanujan's full name is Attipat Krishnaswamy Ramanujan. He was born in 1929 and died 1993 at Chicago. He lived in USA. He is one of the leading Indo-Anglian poets. Indo-Anglian poets means Indians who write in English. He is one of the members of the poetic trinity of Indo-Anglian poets. Trinity means the three top poets of Indo-Anglian genre. The other two being Nisim Ezkil and Kamla Das. He was a scholar of Indian literature who wrote in both English and Kannada. A.K. Ramanujan was a bilingual poet, we can say. Ramanujan wore many hats as an Indian poet. He was a versatile genius. He was an Indian poet, scholar, author, philologist, folklorist, translator, playwright. As a playwright, he has also written many plays. His academic research ranged across 5 languages. He knew 5 languages, and they are Tamil, Kannada, Telugu, Sanskrit, and English. He published works on both classical and modern variants of these literatures, and also argued strongly for giving local, non-standard dialect their due, as it is generally thought that the dialect or local languages are not considered as something respectable. He strongly favored that these local languages should be given their due place, due respect should be given to them. He has been praised highly by critics. His art is almost perfect. The only fault that can be found with him is that his poetic output is too thin. Means he wrote less number of compositions. He has to his credit only 2 slender volumes of poetry. Very thin volumes, we can say very few poems he has written. He is certainly one of the greatest masters of the English language. Apart from his themes and the motifs in his poetry, he ranks very high among the Indo-Anglian poets for his use of the English language to express himself. He has shown a rare originality in the use of words, and he has shown an extraordinary talent of phrase making. That is, he has a talent to coin new words. His poems abound in felicities of word and phrase. Now let us come to the poem. Obituary is one of the most famous poems written by Ramanujan. It was published in his volume of poems entitled Relations Poems. This was the title of the work in which many poems were published. and obituary was one of them, and it was published in 1971. In this poem, the poet remembers his dead father long after his death and the legacy he left for his sons and daughters. The tone is flippant. He is not showing respect, mock ironic, but it is merely a cover to hide his essential seriousness and poignancy of his grief. From this poem and many of his poems, it is said about A.K. Ramanujan that he's a family poet, family members, mother, father, wife, brother. They occupy important place in his poems. So in this poem, it is very interesting poem, very easy poem. The speaker, most probably the poet himself. We assume that it is poet who is saying all this, gives us an account of certain happenings connected with the death of his father. Then he narrates certain incidents. When his father died, he left no legacy for his sons except dust on a table that was full of papers. Besides this, he left daughters and debts to be paid by them. Means his father did not leave anything positive for the coming generation, but negative for the coming generations. He also left a sickly bedwetting grandson. The grandson had been named after him by the toss of a coin and not by an agreed decision by the family members. Means even the grandson was not given the name by unanimous decision, but it was decided by a toss. Furthermore, he left behind him a decaying house in a very bad condition, decaying, very bad, that leaned on a coconut tree growing in the compound. The coconut tree itself was a leaning one and not growing straight upwards. It is symbolic, means not in the right direction, positive direction, but in a negative direction. When the father was cremated, the fire easily burnt his body, and burning there was left his ashes, in which two coins that had covered his eyes along with a number of small round bits of metal were left. His sons picked all of them carefully, and according to the instructions of the priest, they threw them into the water at the meeting point of the three rivers, namely the Ganga, Jamna, and the invisible Saraswati near railway station at Prayagraj or Allahabad. Then continuing with the obituary of his father in the same rocking tone, the poet says that his father did many things, but he did not actually do them, rather they happened to him. Means there are many things which were attached with his father, but they were not his achievements. They were by chance that they happened with him. For example, his father took his birth through a cesarean operation in a poor, dirty, congested colony where poor Brahmins lived. It was by chance that he was born in the family of Brahmins. Then he died of a heart failure in the fruit market. It was a death. It was not under the control of his father. These are the two main achievements of his father, but these have also not been the subject of any long-standing headstone, means a monument was not given to him for the achievements. Hence, nobody remembers these events except the loving and the grieved poet, that is, who were directly related with him. Someone told the poet that the two lines have appeared in an inside column of a Madras newspaper regarding the death of his father. This newspaper is sold exactly after 4 weeks by the kilo to the street hawkers, who in turn sell it to the small groceries. These grocers make cones out of these old newspapers and sell salt, coriander, and other spices and other grocery articles in them. When the poet buys them, he reads them for fun in the hope of finding some relevant information regarding his father's death. Finally, he says that his father has left a widowed mother along with information that they have to perform several rituals in the course of every year. This was the, you can say, uh, information which the poet has given at the surface level to his readers. But if we go inside meaning or the hidden meaning, we find different meaning. For example, as the very title shows, the poem relates to a death and is written in a tone of grief. And yet there is more of humor and wit in this poem than of a grief. Though it is a poem which is written at the death of his father, but it makes us laugh, not to make us sorrow stricken. The title prepares us for a mournful and saddening poem, but the theme is treated in a light-hearted manner. For example, father, when he passed on, he left dust on a table full of papers, left dates and daughters. Means the daughters also means expenditure, dates also mean responsibility. A bedwetting grandson named by the toss of a coin after him. Means not unanimously by the members of the family. Here and there we have alliterative phrases, dates and daughters, bedwetting grandson, being the burning type. In form, the poem is most irregular, like much of Indo-Anglian poetry. The lines vary in length. The rhyme has not been used at all. Means there is no rhyme scheme. If one line consists of 7 words, there are others consisting of 2 words and even 1 word. Means some lines are two-syllabic, 2 syllable, 3 syllable, 4 syllables, like that. Then the use of capital letter at the beginning of the lines has also been avoided by the poet. And it became a tradition among Indo-Indians not to follow the traditional way of composing poems. Raman Nair has aptly pointed, a great critic, has aptly pointed out that this poem works on the principle of paradox. It's controversy. The paradox is that though the influence of the father is so devastating on the son, it nevertheless becomes the nucleus for the son's creative tension. There are 2 obituaries in the poem, one in the form of a newspaper where the father got 2 lines in an inside column. He was not a very important person, so he was given place in the unimportant pages. And the other in the form of the poet's own creative response to the tragic event. The son's response is in part responsible for the son's own mental growth. It's how he grows, how he takes things, which the situation in which he finds himself. One obituary becomes a part of history and the other becomes an integral part of the speaker's personal growth. Both are juxtaposed to generate a creative tension. In conclusion, it may be said that the poem reveals Ramanujan's capacity to pick out the comic element in an event or in a situation which is conventionally regarded tragic or at least as saddening. Means to see the talent of the poet that a situation which is generally thought to be a tragic one or saddening one, where no one can think of comic creativity or comic scene there, the poet has given us treated it in a light-hearted manner to give us humor. And the family figures most prominently in Ramanujan's poetry, as I told you, is regarded as a family poet. Indeed, the family may be regarded as one of the leading themes of his poetry. The subject on which he often writes is family. R. Parsarthi has rightly pointed out that the family is one of the central metaphors with which Ramanujan thinks. Let's say he thinks of composing poems, but first he thinks of his family members, about his wife, mother, father, brother, etc. etc. He thinks about that. So the poem is as a serious one also, as it tells us about the mental growth of the poet also. Thank you very much. Thank you.